Here are the habits you need to know to do a daily declutter with ADHD. Now, why a daily declutter? Because generally, when you go declutter your home or a room, it takes a long time where you're decluttering a day, a half a day, 2 hours, 3 hours. You don't want to have to go through that process. So, you do a daily declutter instead, and that gets you to the same result. You're just doing it and breaking it down to do a little bit at a time. What you want to do first is you want to figure out what time of day am I actually going to declutter my home every day and figure out what time is going to be good for you. You can be morning, noon, after night, right before you get ready to go to bed, whatever time of day is good for you. You pick that time, and that's the time you're going to daily declutter every day. Now, the other thing about this is you need to figure out, are you only going to do it once a day, or are you going to go ahead and do it twice a day or 3 times a day? Whichever you want to do, you can break it down however many times you want to have to do the daily declutter, but you need to decide what you can actually handle. Generally, I say start with one time. If you figure out that you can do more, then go ahead and do more, but it's really up to you. And besides all the things you need to do with time when you're doing a daily declutter, you need to also have a goal in mind when you're doing your daily declutter. Are the specific items you're looking for to make sure you declutter them? Are the specific areas that you're really trying to focus on and really make sure that you get a really good look in there when you're actually doing your daily declutter? Things like this are things you need to kind of figure out before you start. So that way, when you're walking around your home trying to figure out, is there clutter here? Is there trash in here? Is there a specific area I already know there's trash and need to make sure to get rid of and everything like that? And then as you go around your home, you're looking for these specific things in these specific areas. It's going to make the process much easier, much faster, and much more efficient. If you just think about that before you start, you automatically have a goal in mind. And then if you finish and you've completed that goal and everything, you're like, okay, I'm done. I've hit that goal. Okay, the next thing I need to do, I still have some time left. Let me go around and also try to do a little bit more and figure out, is there anything else that is clutter that I need to get rid of? And here's something else. Make sure you check all the unexpected places, all the places that stuff could hide under or behind. Go and look at those places. You may check under your bed. You may check under your table. You may check under some folders on your desk or whatever. Something may be in front of something on a flat surface and you just never check back there. But go ahead and check all those places. There may be clutter. There may be trash there that you need to get rid of. And so you want to check all of those places to make sure that you declutter those places so that you have less clutter in your home, and then you have more space, and then your room looks better or your home looks better because there's less clutter there. And now here's something else you need to decide. Where are you going to take all this clutter that you're decluttering? Where are you going to take it? So you need to figure out that. And there are a few different things that you can do. One, have a declutter drop zone. Now what this is, it's an area in your home that you decide all my clutter is going here when I'm done. And so you take all your clutter to that area. Now what I would suggest is have different bins in that area, like one bin, 2 or 3 bins. So one bin for all your clutter, another bin for your trash, another bin for stuff you might want to keep, and another bin for stuff you might want to donate. So you have these in this area. That way, when you go there, you just drop things in different bins. And when you're done, you can go and look and figure out, okay, this is sure for decluttered and trash and whatever. And it makes it easy at the end of everything. If you have this little area set up, you can just leave it set up, and then every day you go and you put stuff there, and then eventually you go ahead and take it out or throw it away or whatever you want to do with it. Another thing that you can do is have a doom box. And doom box means don't organize, only move. And so you have a box where you are going to have stuff that you think that you might want to keep. Instead of organizing it, instead of trying to figure out if it's clutter or not, you go ahead and put it into a box. You take that box and move it to another room in your home, and then you're going to go back and organize it later. You do have to go back and organize it later, or then you just actually created a box of clutter in another room that's just going to sit there and become clutter itself. Another thing that you want to do is you want to have trash cans in every room in your home, because as you're going through and you find trash, it makes it really easy to go over, put it into the trash can that's in that room. And that way you don't have to go stop your whole process of doing your daily declutter and go to this other area in your home to throw things away. If you want to throw your trash away, in every room, have a trash can. Gonna make it easy. Also gonna make it easy when you bring in like junk mail and everything like that. Throw it right into the trash can. That way it doesn't come into your home and become clutter. And here's something else you need to do. As you're going around doing all your decluttering, you need to figure out, are things in their proper place? And what I mean is everything in your home needs a place for it, because you want to be able to actually know where something goes. If you want to actually put it back, you also need to know where something is supposed to be if you need it and want to retrieve it, right? So you need to have a proper place. And if you're going around doing your decluttering, you see something that's totally out of place in a random place it does not belong, pick it up, take it and put it back in that place that you have designated for. Don't pick it up and put it down somewhere, because if you do that, now you may forget where you put it down, especially when you have ADHD, and then it doesn't make it back to its proper place. So don't put it down, immediately go and put it back into that place it needs to go to. Now, the thing about this is also is once you do that, you go and you keep doing your decluttering session if you have time, but you want to make sure anything out of place you put back. So then you don't have to wonder, is it in the right place or not? And the other thing is, if you go through your whole home, you put everything in a proper place and something doesn't have a place for it at all, it's just randomly sitting out, you can't figure out what you bought it for, what it's for, then it may just be clutter and may be something that you want to declutter at the time that you're doing your whole decluttering session. Now, something else really important to do is to check your progress as you're doing your daily declutter. And the reason is you want to be able to recognize and see you are making progress, you are getting rid of clutter, your area is looking better, there is more space there. One of the easiest ways to do this is to actually just take a picture of what area you're going to focus on to daily declutter first. And that way, as you're doing your daily declutter and you start doing it every day, then you can look at that picture and then look back at that area and say, wow, it's more clean, it's more organized. I've got rid of a lot of stuff that I didn't even remember actually going through and doing my daily declutter. So it lets you know you are actually making progress towards your goal, and that is a good feeling, especially when you get to that goal of having your home or your room in that area clutter-free. So super important for that. Also super important to when you get to where your home or the area is clutter-free, it allows you to look at that and say, I've reached my goal. At that point, you want to actually celebrate and reward yourself with whatever reward you want to, because that's also a good thing to remember. Make sure you celebrate all your accomplishments too as you're doing this. And here's the reality of it. When you start this first time you do your daily declutter, you won't be into the routine yet of doing it every day. It might be hard to get kind of started doing it and then actually making sure you do it every day and everything. So that may take a while. But the cool thing is, once you actually get into the routine of doing it, it's really easy to go and get started. Even if you I really don't want to do this, you just get into the routine and you start doing it anyway, because of the fact it's part of your daily routine. You don't have to get as motivated for it once you start getting into that routine, because you automatically know, part of my routine, I'm going to do it. Easy to do. I know that this is all that I can accomplish in that time. And then once I'm done, I know that my home is going to be more clutter-free and more organized. It's going to make me feel a lot better. And here's something else that will help. I did a video about 8 easy tips how to get organized with ADHD starting today. So go and watch that video. It has some really cool tips for you that you can use to make sure your home is organized with ADHD.